Chapter 7. William was startled from a loud banging noise coming from down the hallway. He heard laughing and shouting along with it, so he got up and looked out of his bedroom window, only to find Jared and Bryce running down the hallway, with their version of giving lunchtime notice. William thought to himself, "Do these guys ever do any work? I'll follow them around today to see who these assholes really are." William went to put his shoes on and stared at the white wall for a second. It made him think of the dream about the council and heaven. It felt like he'd been there for a full day, yet it was just 3 hours ago that he lay down after breakfast to nap. He really wanted to talk to Dr. Young about it, but he was on vacation for the next 2 weeks. So William put his institution-issued shoes on and slipped out the door and stayed a distance from Jared and Bryce. William figured from the suit alone that VMI was a top-dollar institution, although he already knew this from the short visits he had while working at his old job with the pharmaceutical agency. William decided that he would stay put until Bryce and Jared reached the end of the hallway and turned the corner, then proceed up to that corner and peek around to watch them. He stopped and heard them talk for a second in sophomoric tones about irrelevant things. They went into the cafeteria to start serving lunch, and so William just shot straight toward David, Ruggs, and little Mike. William hit David on the arm and asked, "What's up there, Mike?" With a straight face, David shot back at William.
"Name's David. You got fucking nuts there, Mike?"
William just laughed. He was just glad to see them after all. That dream did make him feel like he'd been gone for an entire day. William asked David, "Hey, David, I'm trying to follow those two." William then motioned his head at Bryce and Jared. He then continued saying, "Will I get in trouble?" David looked up at the ceiling after he took a bite from his sandwich and replied with a mouthful of food.
"In case you haven't noticed, Mike, we're in a fucking nut house. They kind of expect us to be shit quail crazy."
William dropped the corners of his mouth and shrugged his shoulders. "Yeah, you're right. I'm doing it then." Rugger looked up not so directly at William and asked,
"What are you doing that for, William?"
William said back, "Well, Ruggs, I guess I just got a bad feeling about one of them. Plus, what else is there to do in this place?" Little Mike added in, "There's plenty to do here, William. We can play cards or go outside." William said back, "Yeah, that sounds fun and all, Mikey, but I'll see you guys in a bit, okay?" Mike said back, "Nah, well, alright. Good luck then, William." David said to William,
"Yeah, have fun, Mike. Keep your fucking pants on out there."
William then got up when he saw that Bryce and Jared were headed off somewhere. As they started leaving the room, William got up and headed after them. William crept around the corner and watched them go down another hallway and into a little housekeeping room. He went up to the door and started listening in as the two of them talked. He couldn't make out too much of what was happening, just their shadows switching positions back and forth from under a small opening at the bottom of the door. William heard odd sniffing sounds and some coughing, then more bickering back and forth. The door finally cracked open with Bryce saying,
"Happy now? Shit. What the hell's been wrong with you lately, bro?"
Jared had just chuckled at Bryce, and then Bryce asked,
"What the hell are those on your forehead?" "Ah, shit, are those pimples, bro?"
Jared answered.
"What? Pimples? Where?"
William watched Jared rub his face and search for them as Bryce answered him.
"Two of them. Right there on your forehead. It's weird, they're like right above both of your eyebrows. You didn't have those this morning, dude."
Jared felt them and said,
They're kind of sore. Ah, damn it. I hate those damn things. No, well, come on, bro. Let's get out of here before someone comes."
William ran around the corner quickly and hid in a small room. The two came out of their room and proceeded down the hallway. William had followed them for the entire afternoon. They definitely didn't do much. They would mostly drop in these small rooms and make calls to friends. It was dinner time now, and William was hungry, so he quit following them for a bit and went to the cafeteria. He saw David and the guys sitting down and watching TV while they ate. William grabbed some spaghetti and milk and sat down next to David.
"How'd your little adventure go there, Mike?"
David said. "Fine. They didn't see me. Those guys don't do anything," William replied. David then looked at William dead in the eye.
You're telling me, Mike? Keep following them after dinner there, Meg. Just before they get off, if you want to see how those shits are there, Meg.
William was curious now, so he quickly finished eating and watched some news. The news anchor was blabbing.
This morning we had a little surprise of rain for an hour, and then it just shut off like a faucet. Can you explain that for us, Dan?
Not really, Kelly. It was very surreal. The clouds formed out of nowhere, and then they just dissipated within minutes. Back to you, Kelly.
Well, hopefully the faucet stays off for this weekend. When we come back, we'll bring you up to date on an interesting yet so far non-threatening supposed virus that seems to be spreading. Said to be originating from prisons around the eastern coastline. Stay tuned.
William got up after that and headed back to a day of following. He saw them walking down the halls and dropped into a patient's room, so he went there as well. The halls were dark. It looked like they were getting ready for lights out pretty soon. William snuck up to the door and peeked through the window and then quickly ducked. In that short glimpse, he saw both of them standing next to a girl patient. It was Allie. Then William put his head to the door to hear because he didn't want them to see him. Jared said,
She never talks or moves when we come in here. She's so fucking weird. Yeah, I know. Let's just take her old clothes and get out of here, man. She kind of creeps me out, bro. She does have nice tits, though. Pretty cute face, bro.
Bryce laughed and said,
You're fucked up, man. Come on, let's go.
Jared said back.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Bryce said,
Oh, come on, man. Don't do that.
Then the room fell silent. While William waited and listened, his eyes started to hurt. Shit. Not again. Not now. William thought to himself as the hair began to stand up on the back of his neck. Darkness fell upon William's mind like a bad storm, slowly creeping up on a sleeping city. Faintly, William began to hear hellish screams. William wasn't too sure what Jared was doing, but he knew it wasn't good. So he peeked in the window again and saw Jared putting his hand up the girl's shirt, and then ran it down to the line of her pants. William froze. It shocked him that they were doing this. He felt like he had to do something, but he didn't want to get in trouble. Then William's hearing buzzed, and the scream ascended rapidly while he stared at Jared. Suddenly, William's vision snapped as Jared's head turned to William with empty eyes and steam pouring forth. Then everything went back to normal, as Jared continued attempting to violate the poor girl. So William did the most reasonable thing he could. He ducked back down and looked over to his room and thought, It's not that far. I can make it. So William counted to 3 and slammed the door with his fist and scurried as fast as he could to his room, and then peeked out his window. He saw Bryce and Jared walk out quickly and look in both directions down the hallways. They were panting heavily. Jared said with his voice ringing through the halls,
The fuck was that? Who did that?
Bryce replied,
See, man, I don't want to lose this fucking job, man. Let's just get the hell out of here.
Jared and Bryce walked off. William made sure for the rest of their shift that they didn't come back. William couldn't let that kind of stuff happen on his conscience. It was wrong. William got depressed and felt sorry for Allie. He said to himself, I can't believe it. I come here for help, and the fucking employees are worse off than I am. That poor girl, she looks so innocent and afraid all the time. Jared was now officially William's enemy.